Yeah, baby, what's going on, man? Look, everybody, it's Frank the UPS guy. Frank, say something nice to everybody.
What do you want to hear?
Just say,
Gary's the best.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Frank the UPS guy. Man, that's a nice guy. It's Frank! It's Frank, the guy that helped me out with that,
Get your daily delivery.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
We have another tip for you.
Ooh, really? Hold on. Yeah, so Frank the UPS guy strikes again. Texted me there's a push something or other. So I'm over here at the address. Ooh, you know what that is, fellas? That's a ground blower. I never had a ground blower before. Oh, it's got the kind with the diaphragm carburetor, which I absolutely hate. But whatever, I'll tool with it. That's right, this damn thing's heavier than I thought. Whew. 3 rolls, but you know what? This thing's heavy, man. Thanks, Frank. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I can do something with it. So, I am selling the John Deere finally. Some guy made me an offer of $700 delivered. I don't mind delivering it because it's only the next town over, 5-10 minutes away. So I just washed it down for him. I hope he's not going to be a pain in the butt. Anyway, my van is back from the shop. It had a brake line leak. We replaced the brake line and got my van back. $300 less in my pocket, but you know what? Gotta fix the van, right? And I'm not about to crawl under there and bleed brakes and stuff. I got that ground blower a while back from Frank, the UPS guy. It's been sitting in my van this whole time. Let me get it out so I can load the John Deere. John Deere. Yes, it's pretty heavy. Just sold my John Deere. Bye-bye. I guess it's okay. $700. I guess it's alright. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. As you guys saw, I picked this off the curb, courtesy of my buddy Frank the UPS guy. I haven't done anything to this. I've had it for maybe almost 2 weeks now, because I've been so busy with my other projects, you know. I've got 6, count them, 6 riding mowers in the backyard. 5 of them don't have engines. I'm working on it. I've got a couple engines there that I'm working on. I've got a silly engine over there that may or may not work. I'm not sure. I have a opposed twin and an LT1000 that I want to take off and get it running on one of those tractors. I don't know yet, you know. But I think the next project is to just put those 2 engines together, so I'll have engines to put on tractors, you know what I mean? Got to do things in priority. I'm thinking about doing another trade with Nick over in Medford, because he needs a push mower with a bagger. I've got 6 of them in my backyard, and I don't think I'm going to be selling them anytime soon, so I might trade one of those push mowers with a bagger for him, and he has a Husqvarna with a engine with a blown, not a connecting rod, but an engine that has a blown push rod and the head. So, and he's giving me another engine that's blown, but it has a good head. So I could just take that head with the push rods and put them on the one in the Husqvarna, and then I'll have the Husqvarna with them, hopefully a running engine, right? And then that Husqvarna also has no seat, right? It just has the back of the plastic thing with no cushion, and it's got a couple of flat tires. So, you know, I'll trade a push mower for that, you know what I'm saying, for sure, and he needs to get rid of it anyway. But before I go over to Nick's, I'm going to make one trip out there, because he lives sort of close to Pete Lombardi. Pete Lombardi wants this blower because he likes the old Briggs motors, and this is an 8 horsepower, 319cc, and so he'll trade me his 12.5 Briggs engine, and I mean, I need engines, so he wants to give me one of those engines for one of my tractors. I'm going to give him this blower, and but before I give it to him on a trade, I don't know if this works yet, because I haven't done anything to it, right? There's one thing that I did notice was that it's locked up. So I don't want to give him an engine, I don't want to give him a blower with a seized engine, you know? So I'm going to take the recoil recoil starter and the engine cover off and try to turn the engine, see if it's seized. If the engine's seized, then obviously I'm not going to trade with him, you know, it wouldn't be cool. So I'm going to figure that out right now. So first thing we got to do is take off the recoil starter, you know, the engine cover, so I can get to the flywheel, and then I can see whether or not I can turn it or not. But to get to the 2 3/8 bolts that hold the engine cover on, this bracket that holds the structure of the handle here is stuck there. This is a 1/2 inch bolt that just... Incidentally, I was watching Musty One the other day, and he was working on a John Deere lawn tractor. And it was so funny because, you know, he was wondering why there was some knocking, and so he took the valve covers off to simply just adjust the valves and do a quick paint job. You know what I'm saying? You know, that looks like a head bolt. It's long. That's what she said. Anyway, so I'm just dropping this down a little bit so I have access. Access. That's what they say it in Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Access. Anyway, and so it was so funny because he took the valve covers off just to do the adjustment of the valves and a quick paint touch-up, right? And turns out he looked inside and the caps on top of the valves were missing. Well, he found one, but he couldn't find the other one. And so he suspected that one of them dropped into the intake, right? Or the, the intake. And so he tore the engine apart just looking for that cap. Well, and so the whole video was him taking it apart looking for the cap, and I tell you, I could not put the video down because I had to see if he found the cap, and he eventually did, you know. Anyway, so I left a message for him on the comments, and I wrote, that's just how sometimes it goes, you know. You start on something else, turns into a complete engine disassembly, you know. And he actually responded back. How about that, huh? 2 7/16 over here. My impact wouldn't work, so. When I got this, there was a service tag on it, so it has been serviced, you know. Yeah, that's not going to just come off. There's got to be some other bolts that are holding the rest of this together, more like on this side, on the bottom there. It's going to be difficult to get to unless I pivot it to the... Damn, this thing's heavy, man. Ooh, that's kind of cool how that sits like that. I'm going to spill all the gas out. Huh. Not leaking so far. Oh man, we're in there. Damn it. Gonna have to wrench it out of there. Just turn on the lights. It's amazing how nice it looks with the lights on. So this is turning. This is turning. Good. Hopefully there's just those 4 bolts. Take off the engine cover and then we can have access to the flywheel, and then we'll see if we can turn this thing. So I got all the bolts off. Let's see if this comes off. Did I take those bolts off? Yeah, I took the bolts off. Is there another damn bolt? Aha! Success, success, I tell you success. Aha! So, here's the recoil starter. Works fine. Surprisingly. Man, this is the super old kind. Look. You just bend the tab to hold this in there. I mean, how could that be reliable? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so here's the See that? This is the have the ball bearings in there. You do it this way at free rolls, which is good because they're usually all seized up. Turn it this way, it won't move. So let's see. How am I going to be able to move this? Figure this out. Let's just take the spark plug out and see if decent. I'm gonna help this thing out by spraying some penetrating oil from my friends at Lucas Oil Products into the hole. Just to help it along. This is almost done ski. Don't go in there. Oh, what the hell? Just a ton of penetrating oil inside there just to help it along, you know. I'm gonna try to turn the flywheel with like a crowbar or something. Alright fellers, I've got this massive adjustable wrench that I've got on here, and I figure this is square, right? So I could just like push it down slowly. Hey, 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 what do you say? Click, 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 click. Like a ratchet, you know? Ooh, let me see if the, there's some grass over here. I don't want it to go into the spark plug hole. You know? Let's see if the piston moves. Unless I won't be able to see the piston, unless the piston's not there. So it's turning, okay, but I don't see anything moving in there. Am I supposed to see something moving in there? It's turning better now, easier. Okay guys, I have to take you off the tripod because I wanted you to see this side doesn't have any Earl in it. It's got 2 reservoirs. There's the other one. No Earl. So I'm going to put some Earl in. But before I do, I wanted to show you this. So I could see the valve moving up and down in there. Let me see if I can show you. See it moving? I don't think you could see it moving, but I see it. There, it's open, see? So, valves are moving, and I think the rods are fine. I'm going to fill it with some Earl, see if it's easier to turn. So we definitely need a funnel for that, because otherwise you'll make a mess. So I'll put this funnel there. Problem is I don't know like how much I'm supposed to put in, and I can't see it because I got the funnel there, you know? So I'm just going to put in a little bit and check, a little bit and check. Putting in some SAE 30 plus motor oil from my fine friends over at Lucas Oil Products. This is going into a very old engine. I don't know how old this is, but some of you guys probably know better than I. It's old. You know, it's kind of surprising because this thing had a service tag on it, right? So it should have been serviced. I'm really surprised to not see any Earl in there, you know, or at least, you know, up to the line. Since there's no dipstick, Cletus, you dipstick. These things don't have a line. People say that as long as the Earl goes up to the threads, that's right, you know. I think we're getting there, but still not that close. I'm going to keep filling until I see Earl. Okay, so I've put almost the whole quart in there. Not quite. And I can see it now. Finger? Right there. So it's right up to the threads. I can see it. It took quite a bit of Earl. Probably 80% of this quart went in there, you know? So a pretty big crankcase. So now we got Earl in it, a lot of Earl. So I'm gonna just spin a little bit more. My battery. Hey, my battery is about to die any minute. I've got like 3% on my battery. But I wanted to show you. I put everything back. Check this out. Look at that, huh? It's got good compression. I'm going to see if it has spark. I doubt it. It's points. I cleaned up the spark plug with a wire wheel brush. Let's see. I don't see any spark. I don't see any spark. Yep, there's no spark. So, gonna have to clean up the points. But you know what? That's Pete's job. Pete's gonna get it going. But the engine is now freed up and it has compression. I'm actually gonna put the spark plug back in. Actually, I'm gonna put in another spark plug that doesn't have rust all over here. Same one. Champion. RJ19LM. Let's see if it'll spark. I doubt it. a minute. Did I see something? Yeah, points definitely have to be cleaned up. I'm going to put the spark plug back in. Alright, well, check this out, guys. Got some, took the carburetor cover off, the air cleaner filter off, and the cap, and just shoot some stuff in there. I had the throttle on off, so now it's in the middle. This thing blew the whole side of my garage out. Holy moly. This thing is awesome. There you go. This thing works. Carburetor probably needs to be cleaned, that's all. But that's a one-piece flow jet, by the way. That's the carburetor. It's the flow jet. They actually make replacement reproduction ones, copies, Chinese copies. I think they're cheap, like 20 bucks maybe. So I think if you just took this apart and cleaned it, this thing would run great. Man, it really blows really well. I guess that's why these ground blowers cost so much. Anyway, this is a 8 horsepower Briggs & Stratton 319cc ground blower. And I wanted to get it running so that Pete knew that the engine wasn't going to get locked up. Pete wants it, so I'm going to trade Pete for an engine. There you go, Pete. It's yours. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
That's why you make friends with the UPS guy.
Hey guys, support my channel. Buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next project. Have a great day.